Yeah.
You know, when you see The Rock and he's standing there with his shirt off, with his shorts on, there's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. So if he's telling you that he's not doing anything to get that I don't know, and I don't know if he is. Is he telling people? Does he say, I've never taken steroids in my life? Does he say that?
He said in one instance that when he was 18, him and his friends took something and it gave him gynecomastia, and then he never touched it again or something like that.
That seems suspect.
Super suspect.
First of all, when you're 18, just doing something once is not going to give you gyno.
It
right?
could.
Could it really?
The most prevalence I've seen of gyno development is in individuals who, like, without enough information went into haphazard use of like a pro-hormone or like an oral steroid without understanding like the pharmacology around it, and then fuck themselves up.
One time?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like you do like a heavy cycle of D-ball or something, get some gyno, and...
No shit. I thought it would take a few cycles.
To develop into like a significant matured titty, then yeah. But like it depends on the genetic predisposition, because some guys get gyno just through puberty too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a natural thing that just fucks up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, him saying that he did something once when he was 18, he got gyno. Like, how'd you take care of it?
Yeah.
What'd you do to get rid of the gyno?
Yeah, presumably.
Right. You have to have an operation.
Yeah.
Like, people need to understand, like, that's not fluid. It's like a gland gets bigger, right?
Yeah, it's like literal glandular tissue that you need to get like surgically removed.
Have you ever seen it, the operation?
Oh, yeah, I've done videos on it.
Oh, that's right, you have.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like you're pulling those little alien chest bursters out of your titty. It's amazing how much mass there is behind those things.
No, yeah. No, they, like, even for such like a little, something that's just barely protruding cosmetically, just at an objective look, when you actually look at what came out, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's a fuck ton of tissue.
It's a fucking egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, but I mean, if that's all if he's saying that's all he's ever done, that's crazy talk.
Yeah. It's like at that point, it's weird. It's like trying to half tell the truth, but not at all at the same time.
Also, when you look at his physique in the early days of the WWE.
Oh, nothing in comparison.
Yeah, let's go to like the early days of The Rock. I mean, he was like very athletic, great genetics, big, strong guy.
Yeah.
But he didn't look anything like he looks now. The mass and the striations and the vascularity.
This version of him did, but like this version definitely didn't.
Yeah, like that version. I mean, he's fit.
On the right, yeah.
Looks good, but look at the difference there.
Yeah.
He also had hair then.
Yeah, I mean, looks very fit. I mean, he's pretty jacked. That's more recent because that's the crazy tattoo. Yeah. That's him now. I mean, this is much older. I mean, he's a fucking massive, heavily muscle
shots
guy.
of him where it's just like.
So what kind of stuff do you think? Well, that was he looks pretty good there. He just doesn't look lean.
I think there was like type in The Rock Scorpion King. I think that was an old enough movie where it was like on the red carpet, the guy just looked like a totally, I don't know, like a shell of what he is now, and that was a long.
Come on, not bad.
This is bad CGI.
Actually, maybe this isn't a good example.
Why don't you look red carpet?
It
looks pretty good there.
Yeah, that's good. I forget which.
Well, maybe on the red carpet he was off his cycle.
There was one picture where it just looked like dramatically different. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but okay, it wasn't that year.
Yeah, no, he looks pretty big.
Yeah.
Look, he's a giant dude, massive human being, and clearly when he's lean and he looks great. But
yeah,
what do you think you would have to do to achieve that kind of a physique at 50? First of all, you wouldn't maintain that kind of mass as you naturally got older, normally, right?
No, definitely not. Like, it's like the total... Again, it's like, there's a reason why I feel that your body naturally down-regulates a lot of processes, too, potentially, to, like, conserve, like, stay alive longer. Because the bigger of a human you are, the faster you're going to die in general. Like, I don't see many, like, 7-foot guys walking around at 80-plus years old. Personally,
very few. Isn't like Bill Russell was like one of the few?
He passed away.
How old was he though? He was quite old.
Yeah. I think he got close to 90.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but in general, like even bodybuilders, like again, they're subjecting themselves to absurd amounts of drugs, but at the same time, like the sheer body weight and the stress it imposes on all organ systems and the longevity of everything internally, not just like it's all something that accelerates you towards death faster, like essentially. So it's like total antithesis of longevity at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, you're definitely not gonna be able to sustain that at 50, even on HRT. Like you're going to have to be, he's gonna have to like transiently push the envelope fairly often if he's doing multiple rolls on a consistent basis that require this look. And it seems like he's been like pretty fucking dialed about maintaining it like year over year now.
Yeah, he's never really gotten thin or fat or never shrunk down, then built back up.
Like, there's definitely something about once you've built the tissue, you can retain it with like a very modest amount, or at least to some extent. Like it's still going to typically be something outside of what would be normally achievable in terms of your hormone production, because if you went totally natural, you would just fucking melt away. But a lot of it is the building the muscle. I'm sure you can attest to building muscle is magnitudes harder than it is to just like hold your physique.
Yes.
So like you could get away with maybe working out like a few times a week with like very moderate volume and maintain exactly what you have. But to actually build, you're going to have to go into a surplus. You're going to have to increase your volume. You're going to have to increase your, you know, your rest, your sleep quality, duration, etc. Like it's all very demanding. So it's not, it wouldn't be unthinkable that, or unfathomable, whatever the terminology would be, that he would use a shit ton or like a decent amount, blast, got to where he is, and then he could sustain it with what he deems to be not healthy, but like healthy enough that he can sort of just like cruise on it and like hold his shape for whatever, the foreseeable future of him doing these kind of rolls.
So what kind of stuff do you think someone would take to achieve that sort of physique?
I don't think it's very dissimilar from what, like Liver King, everything he's doing is pharmacy derived and prescribed. Like there was a reason why the compounds he chose, some of them are, like, for example, Winstrol, not something that has a clinical application generally, but like there are certain medications that are only available through a pharmacy legally. You can get prescribed by a doctor and get overseen by a doctor. So like I would imagine The Rock is not touching stuff like Trenbolone. That's, you know, like an underground product that is not going to have like pharmaceutical standards for its production. And it's just not like a safe compound. Not that any of them are safe, but like generally it's not the most, I don't know, risk-averse compound.
And what are the risks when someone, especially when someone's like 50 and you're doing that? Like what are the risks?
Significant like heart enlargement and like impeding the actual function of the cardiovascular system in general, kidney stress, depending on if you're using oral steroids or not, liver toxicity, neurodegeneration is going to be accelerated from high doses of androgens. Like across the board, it's just like broad spectrum, terrible for you above HRT.